What is going on, everybody? Man Football here. We are kind of officially starting something new. We are going to have a video where we just kind of talk about random thoughts that happened this weekend, kind of cover the topics that we want to talk about. So, Justin, man, let's go ahead and jump right into this. You are in the semifinals bracket in fantasy football in our Dynasty Football League, our first
Yes,
year, kind of
sir.
a startup. How you feeling getting a chance to play for the championship game and playing for some money, man? How you feeling?
Well, first off, I beat you out, so I feel great about
You
that.
did. You
I
did.
beat you out.
It hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt.
And then my team came out hot this week and put up like a solid 160, so I'm feeling great. I know y'all don't know who Coobs is, but Coobs, you got something coming your way if you see this. Then let's talk about the most interesting part of this football week coming up, going into week 15 in the NFL. Dylan, so as of right now, I gotta look at my notes. The AFC right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are the AFC West division title holders. They have clinched the playoffs, as well as the Steelers. The Steelers have clinched a playoff berth. NFC Green Bay is the NFC North champion, and as of right now, New Orleans is also a playoff berth team. There
Okay.
are a couple things that can happen this week that will allow teams to clinch.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills need a win or Miami to lose. So if that happens, the Bills have clinched, and basically the Dolphins are fighting to stay in the wild card at that point. What do you think about that? I think it's interesting simply for the fact of is Miami looked extremely dangerous against the Chiefs last week. So, what do you think about that? But Bills clinching, and Miami's kind of fighting for that wild card spot, which they're looking good right now, honestly. So, what do you think about that?
I guess first we should just say the Patriots aren't even close to the playoffs. Just kind of acknowledge that real quick.
Yeah,
They're a couple games back from Miami even. So yeah, I do think the Bills will clinch. If it doesn't happen this week, it might happen next week. I'm actually really curious to see the Broncos have played some really good defense recently. The Bills have been explosive on offense all season. Really excited to see that matchup. Hopefully the Bills can kind of edge those guys out. And then the Dolphins are playing the New England Patriots. So hopefully they can get a win there. You really never know with New England. So hopefully for the Dolphins they can get a win. Excited for the Dolphins team going forward. If they don't necessarily go super deep in the playoffs this year, a young team really coming up, playing great defense, young quarterback. I think their future's bright.
another really random thing I wanted to kind of ask you is Tampa can actually clinch a playoff berth this week, but they need something very weird to happen. They must win this week, and they need a Minnesota and Chicago tie, and they can actually make a playoff game. So it's kind of a weird little thing. I'm assuming if they win the next two, they'll probably clinch that playoff berth. But what do you think about that? You think Tommy can get the tie in Minnesota and Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know if well, miracles haven't always happened for Tom Brady. So,
That's true.
um I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. He'll figure it out. He'll get in the playoffs. And then it's the Tom Brady show after that.
Yeah. So is there
Just
any team that you like going into Week 15 that you think is just flat out going to clinch and they're going to do well in the playoffs? Like when I say well, I mean win two games, not really
can I,
go the whole distance, but
can we go potential like real dark horse here?
absolutely go
I'm
for it.
really excited to see Washington when they get in the playoffs.
Ah,
This
okay.
this this team, man, is hot right now. They're playing great defense. Alex Smith has emerged as this. You can call him a game manager, call him whatever you want to call him. He's winning games.
Get the ball in
And
Terry's
they're
hands.
Yeah, absolutely. They're running the football better now, and so Chase Young is becoming a force on defense. And the whole defense is playing great around him. I don't think anybody in the NFC wants to play Washington. And they now look like the favorite. The Giants, with Daniel Jones getting hurt and all that. Man, I think Washington is scary.
Yeah, they clapped my boys twice, so I know all about the scary.
There you go. Appreciate y'all watching the video this far. If y'all wouldn't mind, throw a like, throw a subscribe, comment down below. Tell Justin how cute he is. All right, Justin, real quick, a random question coming back to you. College related here. This is the first time I think on this channel we've talked just general college football.
Yeah.
Um, it sounds like Ohio State's going to make the playoffs. And for some context there, just to kind of catch everybody up, the Big Ten started late. They had their very protocol heavy requirements that they came in with. Ohio State ended up having a bunch of games canceled for COVID reasons. Other teams, Ohio State is a team who's only played 6 games this year. Notre Dame's about to play their 11th game of the season. Ohio State, with only 6 games, kind of ask you here, do you feel like it's fair that Ohio State gets in? Or are we looking here as like, look, Ohio State's one of the 4 best teams in college football. I don't care how many games they played. How do you feel about, should there be some integrity there with, hey, these rules and parameters were set. They need to follow those guidelines. Or are we throwing, the top 4? It doesn't matter. You throw away all the extra rules.
So when it comes to Ohio State making the more or less the playoff race for the college level, I think that it's kind of unfair to a team like Cincinnati who's just outside that bracket and letting a 6-win team go ahead of you. But you kind of got to see things. I kind of take into consideration going into the college level, like everything is very money driven. So think back to what is it like? I don't know, 3-4 years ago when TCU was like, oh, people were like, TCU deserves the number 4 spot. TCU deserves the number 4 spot, and more or less the commissioners were like, hey, we don't like TCU. You're not going to make us enough money. And that's kind of really, they never came out and said that, but as football fans, we all kind of know that. Like, it's at the college level, money drives everything. So I think Ohio State has a better appeal than, hey, Cincinnati was 8-0 this year. So I think that really plays into is like, Cincinnati's not going to bring the eyeballs. People love Ohio State, so people are going to love to watch Ohio State in the playoffs. So they just kind of said, whether you're good enough or not, because Ohio State could come out and just get blasted playing a top tier college team. I don't know who really they played this year, but I mean 6 games is kind of, honestly, it's a little unfair to teams that have played 11 games like Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
Simply for the fact of is they have literally 5 game less of wear and tear
and injuries, everything.
Yeah, so they are fresh more or less. So I mean, we both know as former college athletes, like when you play at the college level, it is a job, and when you get 5-6 weeks into your season, that's kind of when you really hit your stride, and you're into a rhythm, you're ready to go. You're not like, hey, what am I doing this week? You already know what's going to happen. You know how to prepare. You know what you're expecting of yourself. So, and now you're coming out fresh, going into week 7 in a national, a national championship race, which is kind of unfair.
Absolutely, in a playoff race. So, I kind of agree with what you're saying. Not fair for a team like Cincinnati. I am in favor of the let's get our best 4 in the playoffs. I don't even necessarily care about records. If it's clear as day that Alabama's number 1 and should be in, then they're in.
Well, Dylan, NFL, people are starting to clinch playoff berths. College national football or college national championship is heading our way. Dylan, you got anything to add? I think that about wraps it up for this video. We have kind of covered a lot of football on this one.
Yeah, man, this is the exciting times. You get championship games coming this weekend. Playoffs are right around the corner as we kind of wrap up the regular season here. Fantasy football championships are going to be won and lost, so go ahead.
Draft profiles are starting to hit the market.
Absolutely, off-season
stuff's Combine talk is starting to happen. There's a lot of football that's going to start coming around. I love the playoffs. Playoffs in general are just fun to watch. It doesn't matter what sport, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, MLS, does not matter. Playoffs are always fun to watch.
For me, it matters. I only like football, but yes.
I love me some hockey playoffs. I love me some hockey playoffs. I love it all, man. So, but guys, thank y'all for watching. Subscribe down below. Subscribe to this beautiful face, because we all know he's awful. So, later, guys. We appreciate it.